He thought it would fade. That's what usually happens. Time passes, distance grows, and whatever you felt starts to loosen its grip. But this didn't. If anything, it became clearer. And that's what he wasn't prepared for. Because he didn't just let go of this. He tried to, fully. He made the decision, told himself. This wasn't realistic. That whatever this was, it didn't fit into his world. Too intense, too consuming, too hard to explain. So he did what people do when something feels out of control. He pulled back, created space, stopped checking, stopped allowing himself to feel you the way he was starting to. And for a moment, it almost worked. Life became quieter, more structured, more manageable. He told himself, this is what he needed. Peace, clarity, control. And on the surface, that's exactly what it looked like. He went back to his routine, focused on what made sense, grounded himself in what was real. But underneath all of that, something didn't settle. Because what he didn't expect was the silence. Not the kind he created, the kind that followed him, the kind that showed up when everything else slowed down. Because that's when you were there, not loudly, not in a way he could push away, but in a way that felt constant, familiar, unfinished. And that's what started to shift everything, because he realized something he couldn't explain. Moving on didn't remove you, it revealed you. It stripped away the distractions, the noise, the things he used to keep himself from feeling too deeply. And what was left was you, not as a thought, not as a memory, but as a feeling. That stayed. That's when it became harder. Because now it wasn't about whether he should reach out. It wasn't about timing. It wasn't about logic. It was about the fact that he couldn't disconnect, no matter how much he tried, no matter how much he told himself. This was over. There was something in him that kept returning back to you, back to that moment, back to the way it felt, when everything in him recognized you, without needing an explanation. And that's what started to frustrate him, because this wasn't supposed to happen. Moving on is supposed to create distance. It's supposed to soften things, make them easier. But this did the opposite. It sharpened everything, made it more defined, more real. And clarity is what he wasn't ready for. Because clarity means he can't lie to himself anymore about what this is, about what you are to him, about why it never actually left. And at the same time, something else started happening, something he didn't expect. He could feel you less, not gone, not disconnected, but different, quieter, more withdrawn. And that's what hit him. Because before, no matter how far he pulled away, there was always something there. A pull, a presence, an energy he could still feel reaching toward him. But now, it's not the same. Now it feels like you've stepped back, like you're no longer holding the same space for him, like your energy has shifted back to you. And that absence is louder than anything, because now, for the first time, he doesn't feel like he has access to you the way he once did. And that changes everything, because before, he could convince himself. There was still time, still space, still an opening. But now, it feels uncertain, And that uncertainty is what breaks through his control. Because it's no longer about him choosing distance. Now it feels like that choice might not be his anymore. And that's where everything shifts, slowly but undeniably. Because every time he tries to settle back into normal, something interrupts it. A thought, a feeling, a moment that pulls him right back to you, again and again and again, until he can't ignore what's actually happening. He didn't move on, he paused, and now everything he tried to suppress is rising back up, stronger, clearer, impossible to ignore. Because it was never just about you, it was about what you activated in him, what you opened, what you reflected. And that doesn't just disappear, it waits until he's ready to face it. And now, he's getting closer to that point where ignoring it feels harder than facing it, where silence feels heavier than action, where distance feels more uncomfortable than truth. He thought it would fade, but it didn't. And now, he's starting to understand why.